Recording.
So, wanted to tell you the story how I got this bike. There's a junkyard right around the corner here. I had no bike at the time, riding since I'm 16, 65 now. And when about 25 years ago we got the kids, the wife said, no more motorcycle. I said okay, and I sold them. And so I had no bike. We got separated. The kids were grown, still no bike. I go to the junkyard here to get some car parts. And there's this motorcycle laying on the side. I knew the guy from the junkyard, John. I said, hey John, what's up with that bike? He said, it's laying there for 10 years. The motor is seized. You can have it. I said, yes, I got a motorcycle. I loaded it up in the truck, brought it home. I took the spark plugs out, soaked the cylinders in WD a couple days. Then I went out there with a big old torque wrench and tried to turn the motor. After a couple tries, it broke free. It turned over. The first turn was kind of hard. From there on, it was smooth. So I go to the parts store, get a battery, gas station, got some gas, filled it up, put the battery in, hit the starter button, and the thing purrs like a kitten. Ooh, again, yeah, I got the bike. There you go. So now what? Oh, it's sturgis. It's happening right now. So I went inside, got all the gear, the tent, the sleeping bag, loaded it up on the bike, and took off to Sturgis. So I met up with a girl on the freeway. She came from Sacramento, and we decided to ride together. Thing was, she was going like 80, 90 miles an hour, and I realized the faster I go, the more oil she's pushing out of the cylinder heads. So I went a couple of miles with her, and then I said, I'll let you go. I gotta go slow. And so when I go 55, 60, it was okay. Not a lot of oil came out. I had to constantly refill it. And so I was going slow. Every vehicle on the freeway passed me. I mean, every one of them. I was the slowest vehicle on the freeway, going 55, 60. It took me 3 days to get to Sturgis. I booked a campground in advance, so I got off the freeway and I looked around for the street name, find that campground. No GPS back then, as like 10 years ago. And as I look around, all of a sudden I look in the mirror and there's a cop behind me with the lights on. I go, oh, I gotta move over, he's going somewhere. And look at these people. You fucking nuts! Sorry. Anyway, I pull over to let him pass. He pulled over too. He pulled me over. So I stopped the bike. I got no clue what he wants. I was going really slow. And I didn't pay any attention what the speed limit was because I looked for the street name. So he comes out of his car, comes to me, he says, "You were going 40 in a 35. And I go, you gotta be kidding me. 5 miles over the speed limit, 40 in a 35. I said, I just drove 1,500 miles as the slowest vehicle in the traffic, and now you pull me over for speeding? Yep. Okay, get off the bike. I got off the bike. Just come with me, get in the car. And I go, no way, he's gonna arrest me. So he opens the passenger door, I sit in. I kept my feet outside. I didn't go all the way in. I was scared shitless that he was going to arrest me. So he said, okay, so that's $100 and you got to pay this in cash right now, right here. I said, hey man, you're going to cut me a day short in Sturgis. He said, yep, the judge said, get the money right then and there because they never show up in court. I said, okay, hold on, I go and get the money. First I thought it's a scam, but he gave me a receipt, so it looked like a real official ticket, whatever. So I gave him the money and he let me go. And from there on, I mean, I drove really slow, all the way to on the speed limit, only speed limit. That's how they make their money in Sturgis. You go a couple miles over and they give you a ticket. They sit there all day long. I didn't know that. So if you go to Sturgis, just make sure you don't go too fast. Also make sure not to get too drunk because so many DUIs there, so many. Drink when you're at the campground or in a hotel or whatever. So then I drove back from Sturgis after that was done. Went on a couple of rides there with the people from the campground, Badlands and Black Forest and Black Hills. I mean, beautiful rides. I mean, I went downtown Sturgis twice, I think. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. There were 800,000 motorcycles. On the way to Sturgis, there was like 200 miles before Sturgis, solid motorcycle traffic. Solid. Unbelievable. So then on my way back, everything was fine. I ditched I don't know, maybe 5, 6 storms. It was so weird. The freeway always bent away from them. I stayed dry, that was cool. So when I came home, I had about 3,500 miles behind me. I come home, I go in my driveway, and the bike dies. I had to push it the last 10 yards, but it brought me home. So now every time I ride, I say thank you to John, because this bike is running for me now for the last 10 years. No repairs, no nothing. It's a 83 Kawasaki KZ 1100. He could have stayed a little bit over. Oh well. So this was my story from Sturgis and to get a new bike, or finally a bike back. So this year I'm not going to Sturgis, I'm planning to go up the coast from California up to Washington and then back down the coast, because it is so hot, and I think on the coast it's going to be a little cooler, nicer to ride. So this was the ride back from the watering hole across the river. Back to town. Hope you enjoyed the story. Here's another beautiful place, great steakhouse, incredible food, packed to the brim, as you see.